was just listening to some trial whilst not drinking or smoking and thinking about getting a tattoo. Now, on to the Nietzsche. The preface, to be specific, of Beyond Good and Evil. Now then, that's actually really itchy. Now then, as to the question, why does Nietzsche make the analogy between truth and a woman? Well, I think we all know that women can be very hard to woo, in the same sense that for the philosophers of Nietzsche's time, the truth was very hard to ferret out. And although people tried the same methods over and over again, the same wooing methods, if you will, none of these methods worked, because for Nietzsche, the truth remained unwooed, as it was not obvious to him, and not really obvious to his peers. This analogy tells us about the philosophers prior to Nietzsche that, as previously mentioned, their methods, although tried and tested, were not really telling them anything new, not really moving philosophy forward. They were just getting hung up on things, hung up on issues where if they didn't know the answer, they just swept it under the carpet and thought, no, forget about it, she's not your type. Going back to dogmatism, Nietzsche of course means dogmatic beliefs held by philosophers prior to Nietzsche. Dogmatic beliefs being beliefs not founded on any evidence or anything logical in particular, just beliefs held because they were the beliefs that they've always held. Dogma within religion obviously being views that are held not necessarily for no good reason, but views that are never questioned. Two examples of dogmatic ideas: God exists, God is in control, that sort of thing. It was all a problem for Nietzsche, that dogmatic belief. I suppose an old philosophical prejudice would have been Plato's idea that only the elite can philosophize and attain a transcendent knowledge of truth. So that's quite a dogmatic idea. If you move away from that, a whole new world of possibility. Why does Nietzsche believe ideas such as Christianity and Platonism must be overcome? Having read the preface, I would have thought what he's trying to say is that Christianity, I'm not really good with history. Christianity was holding people back because, you know, it's very black and white. You live your life according to the Bible, according to God's law, but it means you don't question anything. If you take the Bible as perfect truth, then you've got to kind of ignore a lot of modern science and a lot of modern philosophy and a lot of ideas that came after that. And as for Platonism, as I said before, I think he's possibly getting at the point that only the elite can attain a high sense of knowledge. Obviously, Nietzsche went on to, or was it before Beyond Good and Evil? He said that we all need to become supermen and give our lives so the next generations might become. Plato would have been very against this, in the form that he thought, no, don't even try, because you can't better yourself. Two instances where certain movements in society have sought to relieve the tension and struggle between reason and belief. One example that Nietzsche mentions is the Jesuits, who, according to Mr. Perkins, were a movement of sort of proto-Christians who, to try and make their new movement a bit more attractive, sort of said, okay, you can do whatever you want as long as you can reconcile it with yourself. So as opposed to change your attitude, change your beliefs to fit your attitude, because they basically believed that everyone would eventually turn back to Christianity and morality. I suppose in a way Henry VIII sought to justify his reasons with his belief, and so created the Protestant Church, which kind of, you know, most Christians today are Protestants. He did leave a long time after his death tension between reason and belief, because now, I mean, if you asked a Protestant to believe some of the things that hardcore Catholic believes, I think they'd struggle with that. So yeah, I think that's a prime example. And lastly, is Nietzsche for or against such movements? The struggle against thousands of years of Christian ecclesiastical pressure has created a splendid tension of the spirit. Europeans experience this tension as distress, and there have already been 2 elaborate attempts to loosen the bow. We need tension between reason and belief to move forward. If you relieve it or attempt to relieve it, unless, you know, you come up with the perfect philosophy, which is unlikely, you're just stopping people from moving forward if they don't have the motivation and the tension to try and to motivate themselves into moving forward with philosophy and reason, then you're just at a standstill. So no, Nietzsche is against such movements. I'll get back to trial. Do love a bit of Seattle hardcore.